welcome to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Schif Musara.
And we are two Americans living in Sweden talking about football. That's right, week 11 is in the books. We're in the double digits of the season, and we still don't know much. This is the most even season. We were talking about it before we started. One of the most even seasons in the last few years. And I'm ready to talk about it, man. It was a fun weekend of football. Extra fun for me as a Dolphins fan who got to have my team be the only team on television and damn near embarrass itself in Madrid. But we'll talk about that soon.
I would argue that, setting my own personal disappointment aside, might have been the most exciting weekend of football we've had so far this season.
It's up there. Almost every game was exciting. Yeah, that's true. It was a fun day. I was glad that in this week, my team played alone in the slot, which gives me the opportunity to sit and watch. This was a good red zone day to watch red zone instead of being just bogged down by a Dolphins game that's probably going to get you frustrated, highs and lows throughout. You know what I mean? But when you're watching all of the action, it was like fun, man. I was up until almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I took a little nap in there, a little bit of it, but then I woke up, finished the game, and it was really fun, man, to get all the way to the Sunday night game before I went to bed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we can get into it. The first game, which was not particularly close, was the Thursday night game, Patriots beating the Jets, the 2-8 Jets.
Yeah, man.
And the 9-2 Patriots. Clearly,
jeez, who saw that coming? 9-2.
I mean, well, sir, I can tell you the Atlanta Falcons didn't see it coming because we interviewed Mike Vrabel and we just decided, you know what?
You are so mad about that.
He's not for us. Yeah,
you would have been on your second Vrabel year. Wow, imagine.
Nah.
Does he do GM stuff for them too?
Him? No, I don't think so.
They have a separate GM?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I thought he was one of those coaches that wanted to be involved in personnel like that. Because that seemed to be the thing that pushed people away from that Falcons job.
I mean, that to me was more of a Belichick conversation. But even in the case, I mean, even if that were true, Vrabel is proven.
Yeah, he can build. Again, he's a consistent good coach. I was shocked that he was off for a year.
And his
not by choice.
Vrabel's undoing in Tennessee was because of that goofy GM that they had there that traded AJ Brown. So that's true. If you're going to give a coach the GM duties, I'd give it to him. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, but they do have. I just looked it up. They do have a GM, and I feel bad, man. I feel bad for y'all. You could have been 2 years in with a really good coach. Fontenot tripping.
Don't even get me started. So this was really a Travion Henderson game.
Yeah. It's great. The way they're balanced, they're a good team, man. When you watch them, that's a good-ass team. I watched the whole game. Yeah. It's just like what's his name? Josh McDaniels is back, man. He's back in his bag. He seems like he should just be an offensive coordinator, putting it together nicely, man. I love the way
And again, not to make this a fact, but there are a lot of coaches who, they get a swing to be the guy, and you realize you're just a better coordinator than you are a head coach.
Yeah.
I would say that for the Patriots. I would certainly say that for Raheem Morris. He might just be better off as a defensive coordinator. Anyway, but we're not talking about the Falcons.
You sure?
So obviously Drake May continues to impress. The only caveat I would sort of throw in here is that because the Patriots were so bad last year, I mean, they do have kind of one of the easiest schedules. If you take a quick peek at the teams that they're beating up on, it's not, with the exception of the Bills game, which we now know the Bills. I wouldn't even say that because the Bills are showing that they're a good football team, but they have some serious issues to fix as far as the run defense.
They're nowhere near complete. Yeah.
I mean, you got the Patriots out here beating teams like the Commanders, the Vikings, or that's more preseason. Sorry. They're beating bad teams basically.
Yeah. That's the beginning though. You start off, you beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Yeah.
I don't want to take anything away from them, but
yeah, you're right, man.
But I also want Patriots fans who tend to get a little over their skis because of their, recent history. Don't be surprised if you get thumped in the, wild card round of the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Yeah. The end of the season, all they got left. The toughest games left are Bills and Ravens. Interesting. Well, they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat. Good for them. They look good.
Yes.
I'm really, sad because of that. Because it might be a dynasty, especially if Drake May turns out he's going to probably get progressively better, as quarterbacks normally do. So unless he develops some flaw or regresses, then they got the coach, they got the scheme, and they got the quarterback. Like that'll be 2 teams in my division that do that. So that's great.
I mean, I can tell you as of right now, they're probably going to win that division.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially the Bills looking shaky like that.
We can get into this stuff maybe in the next episode instead of getting into the news. We can. There are a lot of things coming out right now, considering playoff predictions and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's more or less unless they stumble. I mean, the Bills could still catch them, but they need to.
Yeah, they'd have to make a mistake. They got a pretty easy schedule on the way up. The next game was the
shit bowl.
Oh my goodness!
Brought to you by XLEX.
We had an overtime shit bowl with the Dolphins and the Commanders. I was so frustrated. Dolphins should have won this game running away, but Mike McDaniel would not allow it. It was another analytics fest. I think if the Commanders don't miss a field goal, while the Dolphins were not taking field goals, they kept going for it on 4th down and getting stopped. This could have been. I think I just had the opinion that Mike McDaniel was going to get fired if they lost this game. I don't know if he got that memo because he was or maybe he was just desperate, so going for it in bad times. Maybe that was why. But it was just like, okay, you watched it with me. We were talking about it. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Kick the field goals, take your points. The Commanders can't do anything really on offense, and then it ends up going to overtime. I was glad it made it to overtime, and then we could win the game.
Yeah.
And the first play in overtime is a pick that gets us in field goal range. We run the ball once and then kick the field goal.
I felt bad for Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah.
Who
I did not.
Marcus Mariota.
He, otherwise played he's doing a very good job of
backup quarterback
as a backup. And it's just, I can see why they like him as their backup. But at the same time, we've said it a million times. This was the team, and we'll talk about this again later because there's another team that's doing this year. The team that won all the 1-score games last year is now losing them all this year.
Well, they also don't have that quarterback.
But even when he's in there, it's like you could just feel there's something missing with this team. They start the season on the seesaw where they went, they basically the Commanders week 1 win, loss, win, and now they've had 6 losses in a row?
5 or 6, yeah.
So they're done. They're toast. We can kind of stop caring about them in any kind of realistic way. But I agree with you. I think your coach was out here playing for his life.
Yeah. Because it was bye week. It's bye week next week, so it's like I personally kind of the thing I enjoyed most was the history they talked about during the game. It's like there's a lot of crossover for these coaches. You know what I mean? And the fact that but Raheem Morris was the one who went to Dan Quinn when they were all working with the Falcons to tell Dan Quinn, like, hey, look, I think McDaniels has a drinking problem. We need to help this guy out. And instead of firing him, they got him the help that he needed. And I just think that's, I don't know. I like hearing stories like that in what is otherwise a very cutthroat business. Yeah.
Where you got guys out here fucking looking out for each other. I think that's pretty cool. So that was my personal favorite part about the game.
That was actually my shit got learned is that you offset, those of you that party out there, you know that you offset alcohol with cocaine. And it's obvious that that's what Mike McDaniel has done. So. It's obvious. Man, speaking of drugs, what happened to your boys, man?
Honestly, I mean, this is just kind of...
I thought they won. I was just like, okay. And then next thing you know, they kicked up. I was like, what? Overtime? What?
I don't even really... Okay, so for the easy way to explain this is like Michael Penix got hurt and Kirk Cousins had to come in, and that's when the brakes kind of fell off. That being said, like, this is just kind of who we are and who we have been. It doesn't matter. We can't close games very well. The whole Michael Penix injury doesn't explain why Bryce Young had,
MVP game.
The best day of his NFL career with 448 passing.
Probably will be. When he retires, he'll be like, man, remember that game against Atlanta?
Despite the fact that we managed to sack him 5 times, this guy still throws for almost 500 yards. I mean, that's just crazy to think about. We just and it's crazy. It's such a Falcons game. Like there are moments in this game where it just feels like we are in complete control. The one that sort of really got me off the sofa was when the Panthers tried to go for it on 4th and 1 in the red zone, and our leading tackler, Caden Ellis, just chased this motherfucker down right at the line to gain the first down, and was just like, you are not crossing this line.
I can't imagine him on Madden. It's probably insane. Any white linebacker on Madden, oh man, he's gonna be he's great.
Totally. And to me, that's one of those moments in the game on just about any other team. Like that's the moment they won the game. That's the play right there. That's why they won this football game. Yeah. But no, that is not what happened. Because we basically let them back into this in the second half, and didn't even really make it that hard for him, because obviously we had Kirk Cousins who is just done.
What happened to him, man? Yeah,
he's just done. He looks terrible. He doesn't really have a connection with the receivers like you would hope he would, obviously, because he's coming in as a backup role. But more concerning, it's like, it feels like all of the things that we were doing that got us to that, I don't know, 15 to whatever point lead that we had a 2-touchdown lead at one point. All of that stuff that we were doing in the run game with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, it all just felt like we just gave up on that for the most part. It's either weird. We gave up on it or they figured it out. I don't know, but Bijan, it felt like he was just kind of doing whatever he wanted to do for the majority of the first half. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was just like full panic mode. And credit to Bryce Young, you know what I mean? He stepped up and he and Tet McMillan and Xavier Legette, they played really well in the second half.
He spread it around too. 9 receivers caught the ball, man.
But I would argue that the Panthers are not they're not a good football team. They're just not.
Didn't they score 30 on y'all twice?
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
But the thing is that I don't trust the Panthers. Like they're just not.
They scored 44 for no. Damn.
But the thing, the Falcons are also basically done. You can just wrap it up and mail it in for the rest of the season, which is kind of nice. Like I don't have to worry about them anymore. But fans are pissed. I can tell you that. And I think they're kind of, they're definitely pissed about the coaching situation. This I've hinted at it. This idea that we interviewed Vrabel, we interviewed Ben Johnson, we interviewed Harbaugh. And we talked ourselves into Raheem Morris because he's such
part of that group, man. He's part of that.
Well, he's such a fun dude. You know what I mean? Like the vibes are great. You want to root for him. He seems like such a good dude. But the problem is that they don't really seem I've said it before. We need a coach that can help us to sort of create a culture that we've never had before. And I think we picked the wrong guy at this point.
Damn.
No offense to Raheem Morris, but I'm pretty sure we picked the wrong guy.
Year 3 is going to be huge, man. If they don't make a leap, they might make a change.
If they don't, I mean, I would not expect him to get fired in the season. But if they don't win any more games, I don't see how you have any choice. I mean, next up, you got the Saints. You lose that game. It's like, oof. That's like one of those games you got to win. And then you got the Jets. You should win that game. I really, if they don't win any more games for the rest of the season, they're going to have to fire him.
Damn.
We'll see.
Well, no. Wow. All right. Then we had the Bucks played the Bills in probably game of the week.
This was such a great game.
Texans. What is it? Texans?
No, I think.
Bucks Bills. Yeah, Bucks Bills. Okay, yeah.
Weren't there like 9 lead changes in this game? This was crazy.
This was a crazy fun game, man.
This was so good.
Especially when it was like up and down a bit at the beginning. You're thinking, oh, look at Josh Allen. And then all of a sudden, you're like, damn, look at Josh Allen.
That interception that Josh Allen threw in the beginning of the game where he just two-handed shovel.
Yeah. Like a volleyball, what is it called? A set? Volleyball set.
What is he doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes he tries to, but he put the cape on, and it worked this time. But they need to get it where he doesn't need to put the cape on.
Agreed. I have very mixed feelings about this game because as fun as it was, once it's over and you kind of you break this thing down, you pop the hood, you take a look at the numbers, and just take a deep breath. And there are some things here that I think are a little concerning, right? Mm-hmm. First and foremost, good for you, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns did he account for?
Six touchdowns.
He threw 3
and ran 3,
and then rushed for 3. That's lovely. But they had some issues again on the receiving core. What's his name? Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch because apparently he missed a practice, so they were trying to send a message there. Some of these throws, like that touchdown throw that he ripped off to the guy who took Keon Coleman's place, Tyrell Shavers. Never heard of him. Don't know anything about him. But that throw was like a work of art. It was like, what? How did he do that? It was like, Jesus Christ. But the defense for the Bills is where we have to start getting a little worried because they're getting gashed week after week. And it's one thing if we're talking about, you're getting gashed by who do they play? It's one thing if you're getting gashed by Achan or Rico Dowdle, who has proved to be quite good, or there's the game where we beat them. Bijan kind of went crazy on them. Those things are understandable. You can explain those away. But bro, Sean Tucker is the 3rd string running back. He's basically a fullback, right? Big ass fullback. 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus 34 yards receiving and another touchdown.
19 carries. Yeah,
the Bills have a very, very serious problem when it comes to taking care of running backs. Big problem, and it could be the thing that
probably will
undoes them in the playoffs.
Yep.
I would say it's like code red for them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that's like Super Bowl or bust. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't fix this problem, you are fucked.
Yeah, man. But they're fun. It's two of the most fun teams in the league. We're playing each other, and we got a fun game. Speaking of fun games, the Titans played the Texans. That was great, huh? Excuse me.
This game was 3-0 for a long time.
I thought the Titans were gonna win this thing. They came to play. Scared the shit out of me because we had a bet going, we had some things were working out, and one of the things was the Texans needed to win, and it almost took us down, man.
Titans defense was great. Jeffrey Simmons was everywhere. Yeah. Absolutely everywhere. He was he's a big man, but man, he just kept popping off the screen. He was all over the place.
But how about Davis Mills?
How about him?
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's won all the games he's come in, right?
Do we have a quarterback controversy?
It's funny. They do talk about that. The chatter has been looking at the production between Mills and Nico Collins and comparing it to how it's not working so well between C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins.
Everybody stop.
But Davis, this is that's not a serious conversation.
No.
And these are not serious football teams. You know what I mean? Like the Texans are, great defense, terrible offense. And the Titans are 1-9. So it's like, what are we doing here? Just let these guys kill each other and call it a day.
Then we had another good game, but if you're like me, the Bears Vikings, that was a back and forth division rivalry game. I don't have much to say about it except for calm down, Bears fans. That's what I want to say. They're trying so hard to crown fucking Caleb Williams, who just I don't know. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real to me, man. But they won again, 7-3.
This is actually what I wanted to talk about, because here we go with the Bears.
The Bears.
I could just get it's sort of my shit got learned too. The Bears are this year's Commanders.
Yeah, winning the close games. Yeah.
If you look at their schedule, every game the first game of the season they lost by 1 score. Then they get blown out by the Lions. They handled the Cowboys. But after that, just about every game, every win that they've had since that Cowboys game has been by
1 point down there. 1-1. Then they won.
A little more than one. Yeah, they've all been 1-score games.
Then they got blown out. Then they won by 5.
And
then they won by 4.
It's kind of weird to watch them because, like, when you really settle in and watch Caleb Williams, like, he does these like miraculous things too, especially when it's like
off schedule stuff. Yeah,
exactly. When the things that he can do to avoid a sack, right?
Yeah,
and it gets you kind of excited, and you think like, oh my God, how did he do that? Blah, 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 blah. But then you look up in the third quarter, and you're like, why do they only have 12 points?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
When it's when we'll get to Mahomes in a little while, but when the Chiefs were clicking and Mahomes was doing this kind of stuff, they're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? They're scoring points, and meanwhile the Bears are just not, like, he'll make a play or two that makes you think that he's like supernatural, but then at the end of the day, it all comes up short in the end because you're not scoring any points, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, JJ McCarthy. I'm convinced that JJ McCarthy does not know how to play football until the fourth quarter. This man just cannot play football until the fourth. And somebody call me when the fourth quarter starts, and I'll start playing football. Because he is so fucking bad. He was so bad in this game. Like, what are you doing? Like, why is he even out there? Kind of bad. Just dreadful. And then the fourth quarter hits, and all of a sudden he's in a position to win the game, and he's throwing darts and dimes and fucking working it down the field. Like, it's just, he's a weird one. To be fair, he's basically a rookie, right?
Yeah.
It's his first year of playing NFL football. So if what he is able to do in the fourth quarter is something that they can get him to do in the other quarters, like, for the back half of the season, or maybe even just for next year, then it's like, great, you're all good. The Vikings are just in this weird position because last year they won all these games that they never thought they were going to. Them being 14 and whatever was not in the script for them last year. That was totally unexpected. Yep. And it created this weird expectation for the fan base, okay, well, oh shit, well, maybe we're a Super Bowl team. And it's like, no. They were trapped. They were trapped between this unexpected success and what they really are, which is a team that's in kind of a mid-rebuild sort of thing, which, is frustrating. It's a frustrating place to be, but I'm actually not worried about it. If the Vikings fans can just chill the fuck out, you can realize, like, just give it some time. Bears, on the other hand, I just still don't know what to say about what they are, other than the fact that I think Ben Johnson's doing a great job. He's
putting together a good plan and everything. Yeah, looks like a well offensively coached team. And Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator, and he's a seasoned veteran. And yeah, everywhere he goes, they have at least a physical and tough defense. So they got the ingredients. They're putting together a good staff, and it's first year. So maybe they're onto something. I'm just not the. Maybe it's the announcing. If I watch the game on mute, it might be a better experience for me. Because these announcers, they try to drive these narratives too much, man. Mm-hmm. That could be my shit got learned. The Packers played the Giants. They had a little scare. Giants were out here. First, the Packers kept losing stars. And the Packers were aware that, the Giants just lost their coach. And that, you know what that means? Coach fired syndrome might be taking place. And the Giants were really pushing it. And then, Packers pulled ahead, finished it off.
I mean, they didn't just have the Giants had the benefit of the coach fired bump.
Yeah.
But also with the Jameis Winston lift.
But there's always after the rise comes the fall with Jameis Winston.
And it was funny because we were sitting there watching the game and Isak was like, I just keep waiting for Jameis to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Because he was having a pretty good game.
Yep, he was sucking on dubs. Somebody had dubs up there. He's fake sucking on. I like that. He's funny.
I think he did a really good job of staying composed in the pocket, not panicking, making throws, making desperate throws that needed to be made in order to get first downs. He was really kind of giving the Giants a chance to win this football game until the pick that you knew was coming. Yeah. Which
he should get it out the way. He should get out the way, man. Throw it early.
To be fair, if you go back and watch the tape, I actually don't blame Jameis for that pick. He threw it's like a back shoulder corner route into the end zone, and the receivers he stopped.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he kind of stopped. So Jameis threw the ball to where it was where the receiver was supposed to go, and he didn't go there. For the Packers, their struggles really kind of popped up throughout this game, primarily because they lost Josh Jacobs at one
and Jordan
point.
Love.
They lost Jordan Love.
He came out too. Yeah.
But the other problem that they had, even though when Jordan Love was in the game, man, they had a lot of drop passes. Romeo Doubs dropped at least 2 or 3 really important game killing, or not game killing, but drive killing passes, and just made the whole operation more difficult than it needed to be.
I thought about you when it happened because you keep talking about how they have a bunch of mid receivers, a bunch of twos and threes out there, and no one. And then Christian Watson tried to make it a.
Christian Watson played really well. He was the one really reliable receiver. Yeah. Romeo Doubs gives me a little bit of an ick sometimes because he wears the Guardian helmet where he looks like a bobblehead. And as long as you catch the ball, I don't think about it. But as soon as you drop it, all I can think about is your big ass helmet. maybe those two things aren't connected, and maybe it's unfair for me to do that. But I'm immediately just like, oof, nah, he ain't it. So I don't know. I don't really buy the Packers, and I haven't bought even after the Micah Parsons thing. Even after that acquisition, and everybody was crowning them as they're just going to the Super Bowl. I was like, I like Jordan Love. I've said this 1,000 times. I really, really like him, but I do not think he is not. Again, narratives. Everybody wants this whole,
Packers,
Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan. They want this to keep going, and I don't think he is going to be their quarterback for the next 20 years. I just don't. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's that good. I think he's good enough, but he ain't that good.
Well, it's funny that you bring up that because there was the he ain't that good bowl going on yesterday with the Jaguars versus the Chargers with two quarterbacks that sometimes they're crowned as the future of the NFL, and sometimes he just ain't that good. And that's what happened with the Chargers.
I love that he ain't that good bowl. That's really funny.
in this game, man. And then when you look at the stats, it was a blowout win. Like the Jaguars got them a blowout win. I know you got hard off of it, but Jaguars had the blowout victory, and Herbert didn't even finish the game. Like they had already they waved the white flag and threw in the backups or whatever. But
Trey Lance. Trey Lance. I was like, wait, what? I forgot he was there.
Man. He looked good in the preseason. It's like, okay, Harbaugh, I see what you're doing. But but Trevor Lawrence, even in the victory, threw a dumbass interception. 14 for 20 to 153 yards. It was like a he ain't that good, man, moment still in victory, even though they blew them out. I didn't come away leaving. I didn't leave there looking at a 6-4 Jaguars team that I believe in, and also sang praises to the Chargers last week. But after this game, I was just like, what? Justin Herbert led the team in rushing, but didn't rush enough for. We said it. Remember, we made a bet that he would have 30+ rushing yards. He leads the team in rushing and still doesn't get 30 rushing yards. We got a problem. I knew he would run more than everybody, but I didn't know nobody.
For sure.
If you can't run more than 21 yards with somebody, what's going on? Why you only run? Maybe they fell behind. Maybe that's why.
The guy who impressed me the most in this game, especially when you talk about rushing, was, I mean, what is he, like their second? I guess he's their second string running back at this point. Bashal Tutin was vicious. He was unreal. So yeah, I think the run game really helped the Jaguars to kind of take control of this game. Because Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he only threw the ball 22 times in this game.
That's what you got to do, man. Liam Cohen knows what's up.
So they finally found a balance that I think that they were looking for.
And that was the thing that we said at the beginning of the season when the Chargers, remember, they came out firing hot. We were like, oh shit, maybe they win this division. Now they're 7-4. The Broncos are kind of running away, but the thing they did was take this star quarterback and put less responsibility on him. And that's what looks like the Jaguars are trying to do too. But the Chargers just they didn't show up this game. It wasn't even a Charger game. It was just a Chargers fell apart game.
Speaking of not showing up, we got to talk about these Bengals.
Your other team. These are your two second and third teams, man. What's going on?
And my team won. And my Super Bowl darling team, the Lions. Yeah. We'll get to them later. Like,
oh yeah, man.
If it wasn't for my dogs, it would have been a terrible weekend of football. The Bengals just got unraveled in this game. You know, the big question was, the Steelers were coming off the bye. Their defense has not really been that good for the majority of the season. But the last time we saw them, they just curb stomped Daniel Jones and the Colts. So having a performance like that, going into your bye, coming out of the bye, the big question is obviously like, okay, is the Steelers defense, like, are they back? Are they back to what we thought we were going to see this year? And I would say certainly in this game, because the last time these two teams played was like an absolute fucking explosion of offense, right? They both scored in the 30-something range, and the Bengals kind of edged them out. But the Steelers were like, we are not going to let that happen today. We'll let you run the ball. Okay, you can run it all you want. We'll let Chase Brown get nearly 100 yards, but we are not.
We do not care.
Jamar Chase is not going to be a thing today.
Not today.
And probably the most interesting talking point in this game was the fight that broke out between Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah. Jalen Ramsey got kicked out. He got ejected.
At first, all you saw was Jalen Ramsey grabbing Jamar Chase's face mask and like trying to rip his helmet off, and it caused this big tussle, and everybody kind of got together and stuff.
I think Ramsey would whoop his ass though, man.
You're thinking to yourself, like, Jalen Ramsey, like, what the fuck? I mean, whatever. Like, maybe he's obviously Jamar Chase said something, but like, fucking pull your shit together. But then the Zapruder tape comes out, right? The JFK Zapruder film is released after the game, and we see a slow motion close up of the moment before the fight starts. Their face masks are literally touching, and Jamar Chase spits.
What's up with these dudes spitting on people, man?
On Jalen Ramsey, which is gross
Yeah.
Bro, like, gross.
He's about to get fined,
like,
though.
No. He got suspended.
Oh, wait, he got suspended?
The headline this morning, Jamar Chase is suspended for 1 game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, shit. That's more than that's a lot of money. He got that
suspended.
contract. That's probably, what, $150,000, $200,000?
Yeah.
Game check? Game check.
And he will miss their game against the Patriots.
Damn. Oh, of course, the league's trying to get the Patriots to win. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that, man. Damn, that's crazy.
The other news in this game, Aaron Rodgers left the game. Something wrong with his left. I think he may have fractured his wrist or something. He took a gnarly sack.
Okay. Well, that's his offhand.
Mason Rudolph. It is his offhand, so I'm sure he'll be fine. Mason Rudolph came in and did fine. 12 for 16, 127 yards and a touchdown. He did fine.
No slur. How many slurs? How many racial slurs?
Yeah, exactly. The Bengals defense is just absolutely dreadful. We knew this, and it's going to continue.
It might be time. They're going to pull that trigger. Do what we've been saying for 3 years. I've been saying for 3 years. You've been saying for 1.5 years to get this guy out of there, man. Zach Taylor. Whack Taylor. All right. Well, before we move on to the West Coast games, we're going to take us a barbecue break and then be back with more football reactions. SveNFL is proudly sponsored by Brisket and Friends. Brisket and Friends is the best barbecue in Sweden. Brisket and Friends. Barbecue so good, make you want to slap your grandma. Go there. Get you some good barbecue. Best in Sweden. Now, back to SveNFL. All right, back from the barbecue break. The brisket barbecue break. We're back. The Rams, man, looking like maybe the best team in the NFC. Against a really good Seattle. This was a great game, man. I know it's not crazy points like the Bills-Bucks game, but 21-19, and Rams looking like those guys, man. Because they started off. Oh yeah, I called you. Did I call you during the game? No, I called you yesterday morning to talk about this. That Schif Stradamus was in full play when you said last playoffs. I wish I had the tape. I would just play it back. Last playoffs, they got exposed, and the Seahawks played the Rams, and Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin. Don't be surprised if it happens.
No, it was Sam Darnold was on the Vikings, and it was the Rams that unraveled the Vikings.
The Rams unraveled the Vikings. That's what it was.
And I said to you that they put him in a blender. Mm-hmm. They brought back the whole Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they did it again. Even though he switched teams, it doesn't matter. They
still the guy.
They got him to throw 4 interceptions.
Yes.
Which is obviously why the Rams won this game. Yeah. Credit to the Seahawks defense. You get 4 picks. You would think the Rams would blow them out, and they kept this quite close. But both teams have really good. I think these two teams playing against each other is kind of, in some ways, like the best the NFL has to offer.
Yeah.
As far as like quality offense, quality defense.
Yes. Chess matches. The coordinators kind of going at it, trying to figure it out, using Nakua in ways you don't see that often. It was such a good game, man, for the football nerds.
If you're out here picking winners and losers like some people do after every week, my loser this week is the Cardinals. Think about the NFC West, right? You already have McVay and Shanahan, right, in the lab cooking up all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And now you got this motherfucker up
Mike
in Seattle.
McDonald.
Who's like, okay, this guy's real. This guy is for real. You got those 3 motherfuckers in your division.
Good point.
And the poor Cardinals are like, shit, what do we got to do to who do we need to hire to be relevant? Because nobody fucking cares about us.
Well, maybe they could hire Jacoby Brissett, who's out here throwing the ball, NFL record, 47 completions. Never happened before. Of all the quarterbacks we've ever seen, this guy throws it 57 times, gets 47 completions, and it broke, I forget what 2 legendary quarterbacks had thrown for 45 completions before. And then all of a sudden, Jacoby Brissett, journeyman.
That is That is crazy, dude. I didn't even know that until just now. That is crazy.
Yeah, insane, man. But it didn't matter. They still almost got doubled by the 49ers, who just walked to victory in this game, which caused Brissett to have to throw the ball so many times. But this game was over almost immediately. Brock Purdy returning, McCaffrey returning to form.
Didn't they fumble a punt or
Yeah, like right away. It was like just
they had a bad fumble like right at the beginning of the game, and McCaffrey just had like a 1-yard touchdown run or some shit. This was the perfect game for Purdy to come back to. You play against the woebegone Cardinals. Perfect setup for you to come in and just do your thing. Like, he's 19 for 26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He only got sacked once. He looked good. So
I want to give a shout out though, man, because there's one player who had 3 rushes for -3 yards, and that player is.
Oh my God!
He can't. No, I think he took 3 kneel downs at the end of the game. But if you see him, that means if you're a 49ers fan and you see him in the game, that means 2 things. You probably won because he's kneeling, and Brock Purdy's not hurt.
Yeah.
So you're happy to hear that return of the Mac. Even though I like him, man.
Any reason to hit that button? I know you just want to hit that button.
Well, there's no SveNFL without Mark Morrison. And then we got to see something that this next game that we're going to talk about was we got to see the NFL come. Like, we saw the NFL blow a load because they finally got Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders to play in the same game. And oh my goodness, it was bad. I mean, not bad, but they were playing the Ravens.
It was underwhelming.
It was underwhelming, yes, because Dylan Gabriel was running around not looking that good, and then he gets hurt, and then Shedeur Sanders comes in, and here we go, Deion Sanders' son, blah blah blah, got all the media, and it was just they were still a bad team. I don't know what else to say. He wasn't horrible. He was extending plays and stuff, but he also 4 for 16, 47 yards. You know what I mean? It was.
I mean, look, the story of this game is obviously the Browns defense did a really good job taking care of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
They certainly had their hands full with Derrick Henry, who
fantasy
had his first good game in quite a while.
Yes.
And the Ravens defense is also, kind of back into form as well.
Yeah.
But the Browns are just not. I don't even know. It's some of these teams, like, it's so hard to even talk about them because it's like, I don't know how to take you seriously when you have this quarterback scenario that you have. I also and then even the one player who I kind of feel bad for is obviously what's his name? Fucking who's my stupid brain?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Myles Garrett.
Oh yeah, Myles Garrett, who was going off. He was going off. What do you have? 4 sacks? 5 sacks?
He had 4 sacks.
4 sacks.
The week before he had more. He's got these games where he's racking up like 4, 5, 6.
Don't feel sorry for that dude. Don't feel sorry for that dude. Don't forget how that he had opportunity to get out of there, and he took the money and
that's
tried to
why
play
I
it
don't
off.
feel bad for him, because he told us in the offseason that the Browns came to him with a plan, and that's why he took that record-setting deal. If you're telling me
that was the plan, we're gonna pay you a lot of money.
The plan was this. Now remember, the original plan was like, here's what we're gonna do, Myles. We're gonna bring in 41-year-old Joe Flacco, okay? We're going to put him in the game.
But don't worry about that.
If that doesn't work out, we've got 3rd rounder Dylan Gabriel, okay? And if something happens to him, we're good. We got Shedeur Sanders, bro. Like,
because they're gonna pass on him. Everybody's passing on him. We're ready. We take him in the 5th round. We got this.
If that was the plan,
and you took it.
you're leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to win.
Yeah, if you want to win.
You know what I mean?
They're like, we're giving you all this bullshit. He's like, what? And record amounts of money. Oh, okay. I guess I could take it. Nah, we'll see.
The Ravens are kind of a fun team to keep an eye on because obviously they had a pretty tough start to the season. They are now back to 5-5.
Yep.
There's all to play for in this division. The schedule sets up very nicely for them to keep this streak going. They play the Jets next week, and then they got the Bengals. Steelers will be a rock fight, as it always is. But then they got the Bengals again after that. So it's like, I don't see any reason why they couldn't.
Yeah, that second Bengals game might be it might be right after the coach is fired. So
you ain't got to worry about the Browns. They're irrelevant. The Bengals also irrelevant. The only thing you got to do is keep pace with the Steelers and you play them twice. Yeah. You still play them twice. You play them week 14 and week 18. So I think the Ravens will ultimately wind up winning this division.
What do you think about this next division, the AFC West, where the Broncos are 9-2 and the Chiefs are 5-5? Broncos beat the Chiefs 22-19 on a field goal at the end of the game, just like half of the rest of their games this season. If you were to pick a different team besides the Bears to be this year's Commanders from last year, then I would say the Broncos are right up there, man, because it seems like all of their games are just game-winning field goal in a stadium that always has the easiest field goals.
It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. Obviously, the Chiefs are just not. They finally, the magic appears to have run its course. Most of their games that they won last year were one-score games, and now this year they're losing all these one-score games. So, the days of like you can never count out the Chiefs appear to, at least for this season, be done. It's time. I think this happens to every dynasty-esque type team. It happened to the Patriots too. They had a little blip there in the middle of that dynasty where they needed to sort of
2 years
do
off.
a little bit of a gut check and realize like, okay, we're out here fucking thinking our shit doesn't stink. Let's figure this out. How do we retool this thing?
Yep. And they built the offense. Yeah.
So I think I at this point predict that the Broncos will win this division. I think last time I checked, they have a 97% chance of winning this division, basically.
Uh-oh. So you looked at a next-gen stat? Yeah, they got the Commanders, then the Raiders, then the Packers, Jags, and Chiefs, and Chargers. I don't know, man.
They should
win most of those games,
honestly, the offense is very inconsistent, so there's problems there.
Yeah.
But the defense is so historically good that they will continue to keep winning these football games until they get to the playoffs. Once they get to the playoffs, I think it's all going to start to kind of come undone because as much as defenses, win championships, you can't win football games unless you score points. So, once they start playing, better teams, they're going to have some problems, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
For everybody who was waiting for the Chiefs sort of, don't
count them out yet. It's 10, it's 7 games left.
True. But they have it's a pretty slim margin.
No, I'm not saying win the division, but they can come on out and Chiefs as a wild card team. That's scary.
I mean, they're basically a 50-50 coin flip to make the playoffs at this point.
Really?
They might miss the playoffs.
Ooh, that'd be crazy. Can't imagine the playoffs without the Chiefs, but I don't know. Dolphins are probably going to get in there. Got to win every fucking game. The Eagles played the Lions in what turned out to be a defensive battle, man, and Detroit only putting up 9 points. Unheard of when we were coming into this game. And then I watched it and I was like, oof. They just shut them down. I don't know what else to say. Was it a master class by Vic Fangio? Plus, it was also a game where they couldn't convert on their fourth downs. And they kept going for it. to the point where it's like, all right, Dan, enough, man.
How many was it? Wasn't it 5?
5, 0 for 5. 0 for 5.
Turnover on downs.
Exactly. That's called. I like the first word you said, and it wasn't 5 failed 4th downs. 5 turnovers. You give yourself 5 turnovers and threw a pick. So that's 6 turnovers in the game. How are you supposed to win like that? They got to start looking at it like that. Like, if I don't get this 4th down, it's a turnover. And one of them was a fake, like a run on the punt. Just a direct snap to the
right,
and the line just collapses. Like, you're playing against the best. The thing that makes the Eagles good is their offensive and defensive lines, and you keep going for it on 4th down against these guys. And you lose a game where the quarterback throws 135 yards because you're giving them short fields all the time.
Eagles defense has got so much dog in it. Oh my God, they were so good in this game.
We need a barking sound effect on here. I got to get some barks.
They were so good in this game. They were just absolutely dominant. Poor Jared Goff had one of his worst games.
Yeah.
They just, it didn't even, again, it didn't even really matter so much that the Eagles offense, the problems continue. This team is obviously 8-2. Mm-hmm. They keep winning football games, but this offensive situation that they have is still, in my opinion, a real problem that needs to get solved.
Yeah.
So you can ignore it all you want because you're winning football games, but this ain't going to work.
But there's also another Skifstradamus moment that I'd like to highlight is that in this game, you called in your bold prediction, and we miss on bold predictions every week. Your bold prediction was that since the Lions are now America's team, the Eagles will finally get called for false start on the tush push. And that fucking happened, man. That fucking happened. Skip nailed it. They got called, and I was like, no way. No way, false start. Couldn't believe it. Dude. But Detroit's gonna. I don't worry about Detroit. But this game, the Eagles came to play and just dominated them, man. But it was 16-9. So it was a defensive thing. And Detroit should hold their heads high because their defense, with all of those turnovers, held them to 16 points. And they're not known as a defense team like that. So kudos to them. And then final game of the week was a blowout. The Cowboys beat the brakes off of the Raiders. It was so funny. We didn't make a bet on this game. We didn't do our parlay, but anytime we bet with a Raiders game, we always bet on a Geno interception. So I was thinking before the game started, what would we have bet? I was like, oh yeah, Cowboys to win, cover the 3-point spread, Geno interception, and some other thing. And then I see the ball get tipped up.
And what we should have bet was whatever the yards were over on George Pickens, 144 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Did you see his touchdown?
I haven't seen it yet.
He does like a dig route. And he does it like a slight, receiver push off. Doesn't extend the arms. Give a little push, hits his little in, coming off the fake out, come in, little push, catches the ball. The guy's trying to recover from the push. He spins around. So then the guy's like, oh, shit, let me go try to make the tackle. Misses the tackle, falls down. And then 2 defenders start coming towards him. He just cuts back in. They both stumble to the ground. It's like a Madden when you hit the L2 juke. And they both fall to the ground like animation. And then he runs into the end zone. And since they have the best kicker in the league, he jumps up, uses the field goal post to celebrate by sliding down the field goal post. Gets a 15-yard penalty so they can. But we got the best kicker in the NFL. It gets the extra point. It was fantastic. You would have loved when you watch that back. You're gonna love it, man. I know. I was like, if Skip sees this, man,
this thing was hard.
Can I tell you another clip that made me hard this week that I forgot to mention?
What's that?
During the Steelers-Bengals game, did you see that fucking absolute undressing of the Bengals defense by my man, former Bulldog Darnell Washington?
Oh yeah, that big ass tight. Somebody's a Swedish Ahmed Berhan sent me that. He was just like, dude, they let this type of person in the NFL? What the hell? It's a big ass dude, man.
He's a former Bulldog. He was a tight end.
I didn't know he was a Bulldog. Oh my God, that man looks like a sumo wrestler dressed as a lineman, playing as a tight end.
Stiff arms the first guy. The second guy is the funniest to me because you can tell he's like, I don't want none of this. Like he barely goes in and he just gets thrown off. And then the third guy comes in hard trying to punch it. And he hits that dude so hard. It looked like one of those like spaghetti Western movies, you know, where the guy gets shot and he's like hooked to a coin. Just yank. He just disappears. He's gone.
Yeah, man. Cold-blooded. You beat me in really close in flip and pick 'em 8-7. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You actually got a asterisk. Right?
I did?
Or did I?
I don't think so.
No. Let me see. It was week 11.
I did Bengals.
Oh no, I threw
Raiders.
an asterisk out there. You got it right. Okay, so you defeated an asterisk and then lost an asterisk. Because I tried to call the Raiders.
You had an underdog pick on the Bucs, but that didn't turn out.
Yeah, that didn't turn out well. It was close. You know, they were trying to score, but Josh Allen was unstoppable. MVP, speaking of Josh Allen, my MVP is the actual MVP from last season. I hate to give this guy any praise because their team can go to hell. But that shows how dominant he was this past Sunday. I was ready to talk shit after his subpar performance against my team last week, but just like in this game, sometimes there's no denying this man. The Bucs tried everything, and they just couldn't stop this touchdown machine. Josh Allen goes 19 for 30, 317 yards, 3 tutties in the air, and then smacks on 40 more rushing yards and 3 more tutties on the ground. You heard right, 6 motherfucking touchdowns against a Todd Bowles defense. Hurts to say. It hurts to say. But Josh Allen.
You the real MVP.
Some weeks there's really only one, and I have to agree. He just, considering the way he started the game, and I don't think it's
fuck that guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong button.
It's so easy to kind of like understate like how hard it is to flip the switch to go from playing the way he played in the first couple of drives to the way he turned it around and just took over the game was crazy to watch. And there aren't a lot of players who can do that. So yeah, Josh Allen's my MVP.
You the real MVP.
My trash. You know what? The trash is because last week I started heaping praise on this team and saying that things are different. And everybody used to say, the Chargers charger. The Chargers are going to charger, man. The Chargers are going to charger. And I said, there's been a change, man. There's been a change. The Chargers are no longer that team. They got a new coach and bringing in a whole new morale and a whole new everything with Jim Harbaugh. And so they didn't charger. They don't charger anymore. But sometimes they get blown the fuck out. And that's what happened against the team. This was a chance to show that we're that next tier. We're 7-4 for a reason, or it would have been 8-3 or whatever it was going to be, and they're not because they just didn't show up. This week, the quarterback didn't even get 100 yards passing. He's supposed to be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and he got 86 yards, I think it was. I was like, come on, man. So this week, I'm sorry to say it, man. You didn't charge her, but
You are trash!
I mean, besides my Falcons just shitting their pants again. Also, I forgot to mention Michael Penix is injured, done for the season.
For the season?
Yeah, I think he injured his PCL.
Oh, shit. I thought he had okay.
Yeah, I just got the news flash last night.
Damn.
Anyway, besides the Falcons, basically I've decided I'm not spending any more money on this team until they figure out what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
But besides them, for me, I got to go Jamar Chase. Like spitting on a dude to me is just fucking. it's just gross. Like I understand that you're frustrated, and I understand
you don't spit
that,
on somebody. Yeah.
You know, to me that's like kind of that's just such an ick. Like it's just gross to fucking spit on a dude.
Yeah. Agreed.
Unacceptable.
That's a meet me in the locker room type of thing, though. Like I wouldn't be surprised if a player was like, "I will see you behind, under the stadium in the locker room." Because it's happened in the NBA before where somebody met somebody to fight. I think it was Jerry Stackhouse, coming out there. He's crazy ass coming out there fighting. Yeah. You spit on me. You spit on me. We got to fight. That's why I understand Jalen Ramsey. You spit on me through your helmet. Get the fuck out of here, man. And he's from Florida too.
Yeah, the only thing that disappointed me about that scenario was that Ramsey should have gone full Myles Garrett on him and just ripped his helmet off.
He tried to rip it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So future warning to players out there: if you're gonna spit on somebody, make sure your chin strap is locked in. They can't take your helmet off, because I bet you if Ramsey would have got the helmet off, we would be,
I can't unsee it. I can't stop thinking about it. It's just fucking gross. There's no excuse for it. I can excuse a lot of things on a football field in the heat of battle, but that ain't one of them.
Yeah, man. And my shit got learned. They need to figure out what the fuck is going on with celebrations. Like, I feel like if they're allowing it in the video game, then it should be something that's allowed in the actual game. Like, you can press a button after you make a sack to do a sack dance. Why am I seeing people getting penalties for sack dance? It's the second week in a row. Because it seems like there's places you can do. You can celebrate after a big catch, right? You're kind of allowed to do your little first down things. I saw somebody get a penalty for a sack dance, and I saw somebody get a penalty for the Bengals. I think it was the Bengals. He just did the first down thing, and they called a penalty for him. It's like, what is it?
It's a good point, actually, because I saw some weird ones too. Trey McBride got one.
McBride, that's what it was. That game, the Cardinals game.
He did the first down thing, but apparently the ref looked at him and said, "Yeah, but you did this first." The thing
like,
where
what? Wiping your nose,
the finger across the nose. Like he was like, "Oh, but you did that, and then you did this, so that's why we're giving you." I was like, "What?
What?
Stupid."
What? Like they need to define it.
The other one that I saw that kind of piqued my interest, and I don't remember which game it was in, but I was thinking about like a few weeks ago, there was a running back who scored a touchdown. I think it was Rico Dowdle, actually, and he did this little thing where he did 2 hip thrusts.
Yeah, and they're like, it was too many hip thrusts.
Joking about how he was basically it was a joke about like how if you do 3, then you're going to get fined, but if you do 2, you should be okay.
Yeah.
And he got fined anyway. But there was a player this week who scored, and when he went into the end zone, he was lying flat on the front side of his body, and he did 3 hip thrusts like into the ground, like he was fucking the ground, and he didn't get penalized for that.
So you can fuck the ground, but not the air.
If you fuck the air, you get the penalty.
Yeah,
but if you
don't fuck the ground. Yeah, the ground is consent. There's consent involved. The air is everywhere, so you can't get consent. Maybe that's what it was. It's like, stupid. What? They need to define it. That's my shit got learned. It's undefined, and the players are just out here hoping they don't get celebration issue. And it could be huge. What game was it? A player, they missed the extra point because of it, because he did a celebration after a touchdown. I mean, he did a dumb one. You know not to jump on the goalpost, but he jumped on the goalpost and slid down, and they missed it. And I think that was why Pickens did the same celebration. I think it's dumb. What shit did you learn?
Well, I sort of hinted at it. I think that the shit that I learned is that it's the Bears and the Broncos are this year's Chiefs and Commanders, basically. The teams that win these one-score games, we talk ourselves into these teams being the real deal. We think that they're good. We think that they're fixed. But come December and January, we're going to find out that is not the case.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Yeah. All right, and then my Speck recipient, you can plug your ears if you want, man. Bryce Young. Jeez Louise, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns, going 31 for 45. It's an insane stat line for a guy that some people think shouldn't even be a starter. Some people think he's too small to be a quarterback. Last week, he threw for, 60 yards or something crazy like that. And he was my trash for last week. So I think it's time, man. He can get he should do the Birdman hand rub and let everybody know that they
Put some respect on my name.
Who your spec recipient.
Well, if you just want to have a record performance, all you got to do is play the Falcons.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what? I'm going to put some spec on my man, former Bulldog Darnell Washington, for what he did to those 3 Bengals defenders. You know, there's been a lot of chatter about this guy that he's like, not a lot, but he's an underrated tight end because he's so big.
Yeah, he's huge.
And I've heard a lot of football analysts saying, like, what is he even doing playing tight end? They should just make him an offensive lineman. But if you make him an offensive lineman, he doesn't get to fucking embarrass people the way he did against the Bengals. I mean, I remember a play when Georgia played Oregon, the first game of the season, and everybody thought it was going to be such a close matchup, and we absolutely blew them out. And there's a play where they throw the ball to Darnell Washington. He hurdles a guy, and then the next guy who tries to tackle him, he just completely fucking pancakes
I remember that.
Into the ground. I love this man, and I love it. Just keep throwing him passes. He's not going to get very many targets, but when he gets them, you want to try to tackle this dude, you better pack a fucking lunch, bro.
You know what's coming, though? Like the Dolphins are doing this thing now. I think teams are going to start adopting too, just like they did their little sprint motion or whatever. They're having an additional lineman in their running game, so it's like 6 linemen instead of 5, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" But now they'll take that person, put them in motion because they have to declare as a receiver, and now you got a bunch formation with a lineman out there that's going to just block for a screen. Good luck, cornerback, making that getting through that block to make a tackle. So imagine if you do that where he's already eligible and he's that big, and you put a lineman out there. So they could have a full on just follow me to the end zone. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm hoping they adopt that. Like, you just put that guy out there and then add in lineman too, and he's already the size of a lineman, and then you got a little receiver out there. Man, you just walk into the end zone slowly. I don't know. Maybe they'll adopt that.
I love Darnell Washington.
Okay.
I don't know what his nickname is in Pittsburgh, but when he was at Georgia, he wore the number 0, so we called him Big O.
Big O, I like it. But you know, they in Pittsburgh they always do the whoo whenever a tight end gets the ball. Yeah. So that's their thing. All right, the scariest team, I think we might agree on this, but I got Bills and Rams. Bills are my scariest AFC team. Rams are my scariest NFC team. What you got? I shouldn't say the Bills. I don't know, man.
I can say Rams, but
But AFC's open. AFC's open.
Until proven otherwise, the team that scares me the most right now is probably the Patriots.
Okay, got a new color. Well, I'll go with that. I can agree with that. They're scary to me because of the future. Shout out to the Pigskin Pick'em players out there. I'm 12th. I'm 14th, and you're 15th in the league. But the leaders of the league are Kick the Field Goal, the Partil Packers, picks 1. Change your name, Victor. Change your name. And then Hit the Bollar, which means, to those of you that aren't Swedish, it means hot balls. That's right, hot balls. That's our top 3.
Hit the baller.
Hit the baller. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't sound as cool as hot ball.
Right. Maybe switch it to hot balls. I don't know. Think about it. We'll be back to talk about the Week 12 predictions. Thank y'all for checking out this episode. You heard the horns. You know what it means. I've been Jonathan Rollins.
Schif Misara.
With SveNFL. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Later, y'all.
Get serious.